Hi, I'm Joe Goytia. Welcome to Goytia's Martial Arts Tip of the Day. Today we're going to deal with an entry we refer to as split sector. This is typically you see it in the Filipino martial art of Kali and Silat. Even in Jeet Kune Do, you'll see it to a degree. It may be referred to as different things. Even boxing, they will do it to some degree. Again, everybody's going to call it something different. We refer to it because we're a Kali Jeet Kune Do type of affiliation, and so we refer to it as a split sector. Now, this is basically split sector is this. One, we're going to go off of our opponent's jab. When he throws a typical boxing type of jab, I parry and I hit with the inside hand. My hands are split, as you notice, because his arm is in between, so it's referred to as a split sector. Now, this is the thing. In a real fight, would I ever be really able to, if he throws a jab from right there and go right into a split sector? Probably not. And that's the problem. I see it many times taught, and people think it's going to happen right off of that. There's no way. Usually our entries, you have to draw them in to do your entry. One of the ways I like to teach my students is this. I like to get the guy moving towards me a little bit, and then as he's moving towards me, I move in, because I can kind of feel him out. Now typically in a street fight or MMA fight, a person that's going to throw a jab, they're trained. Or obviously in in MMA they're trained. But in a street fight, if a person's throwing a lead jab, probably they got some boxing training, kickboxing, MMA training, because a typical street fighter usually doesn't throw a jab. But we're going to assume that this person does have some training. So, whatever happened in the fight, we had our words, and all of a sudden he gets his hands up and he throws a punch at me, I'm like, whoa. And I kind of back off and I parry it. And if you want to know what a parry is, you can go through our other tapes and you'll find it. So he throws his jab, I parry it again, maybe again, then I move in. So basically what I do is I get him moving towards me, I back up a little bit, and always try to back up slightly on an angle a little bit, try not to keep moving straight backward. So I kind of move back, and then boom, I move into my split. Now, I'll explain the rest of the follow-up from there. Again, your follow-up, you could go across, or a hook across, whatever. I'm going to show a typical elbow headbutt type follow-up from here. So, let's assume I move back, and then I entered on that third beat, or it could even be the second beat, whatever. Usually on the first beat, it's not going to happen, as I explained. So, we're already, let's give him 2 beats. He goes 1, so I move in, and the palm I'm using right now, it could be a punch, it could be a finger jab. What's at the end of it is up to you. So once I get to this position, no one's going to leave their arm outstretched like this. When a person fights, when they throw a jab, they bring their hand back. So you have to be ready for that. So when I go like this, he's going to move this hand back. He's going to move. You notice I move in. I don't want to be like this out here, because that hand is going to be right behind you. I want to be close to him. Now be careful when you train this. This is again for street, this is more street defense. You have to be careful when you train this, because it's really easy to butt them in the face if you do this incorrectly. So I'm going to actually ask you to move your head over a little bit when you do it. So when he throws his jab, I do my split. So I hit him here. When he brings his arm back and I move in, I want to actually lean the top of my head into his face like that. Okay? So I'm already getting 2 shots in. So I have my initial and then a headbutt to his face at that same time. So I go 1, 2. Then from here, my lead elbow is going to come up kind of like an uppercut elbow. I lift his head up, and then I knock it back down with the rear. I grab a hold, and then knee to the groin. Once again. He throws his jab, split, headbutt to the face, elbow, switch, knee to the groin. So this is important. Now this part here has dual meaning. When I go here like this, I'm doing one of 2 things. If I have his arm, as I did, I'm hitting him in the face. But sometimes, let's say the guy jabs and he kind of moves back, and I don't catch his arm. Because you have to understand the what-if factor. Too many times people think it's always going to be a certain way. In a real fight, when things are happening so fast, you're not always guaranteed anything. So let's say he throws a jab, I went in with my split, I went to do this motion, but I didn't snag the arm, he moved back a little bit. That cross is coming. So instead of it being an attack, now I'm using it as a defense. So again, we'll go a little quicker. So I go like this, I lose the arm, immediately this has to get up, and then from there I can open up with some boxing punches, cross and cross, whatever, from there. But you always have to have a backup plan, guys. Too many times I see people when they learn, say split sector or whatever, and they want to go to the next move, and I'm like, do you know what to do if the split sector fails? Do you know what to do if this fails? Have a backup plan.